I like to point out this distinction. How is coding with ICD-10 different? ICD-10 codes can be 3 to 7 characters, but for mental health, they are 3 to 6 characters. The 4th, 5th, and 6th characters provide more specific information to the condition. What's the positive of these changes? Not only does the new structure of ICD-10 allow for more specific information, but also increased codes and categories allow for more accurate coding of the patient's diagnosis. DSM, the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders. Honestly, I am a biller and coder, so I have a very vague understanding of DSM. I know that this publication is geared to the clinician. But what I do know, DSM is not HIPAA compliant, and ICD is the standard for insurance billing purposes. It is my understanding that DSM and ICD should be thought of as companion publications and used together. I also know that even mental health providers, especially MDs, are expected to code the physiological condition or the etiology, the actual cause of the disease or abnormal condition first. There are a lot of code first, code also, and excludes 2 notations when coding mental health. Ultimately, this means multiple codes are needed. I believe the DSM references to ICD-10 may not be as specific as needed, especially again for MDs billing E&M codes. I would be very cautious. I am curious to see what transpires regarding medical necessity for mental health. I have yet to find a crossover list of biologically based conditions in ICD-10. That is why it is important to code as specific as possible. In my opinion, unspecific codes will not be considered medically necessary for unlimited or continued coverage after the patient's standard mental health coverage has been exhausted. The ICD-10-CM coding book. For mental health purposes, there are 2 sections that I find most important to review. Section 1, Conventions, General Coding Guidelines, and Chapter-Specific Guidelines. This is located in the beginning instructional section of the ICD-10 book. In Chapter 5, Mental, Behavioral, and Neurodevelopmental Disorders. This is the complete chapter dedicated to mental health. Concentrating on these 2 sections will streamline your understanding of ICD-10, specifically for your specialty. This concludes the basic information to ICD-10 for the mental health private practice.